You're welcome to another episode of Spiritual Gist. Today, we will be talking about preaching Christ. Nevertheless, preaching Christ. Preaching Christ. A friend and I were talking about some weeks ago and what made us have this discussion. She saw a flyer. She sent it to me. Or a banner, a poster, however you want to call it. She sent it to me and it burdened my heart. A witch global meeting. A global meeting for witches. I was like, how did we get here? That, darkness is so bold. They're so bold at what they have or whatever it is they want to show. Yet we as sons of God are cowarding away. We that have the life. We have the life. The reality of everything dwells within us. But we are the ones that are so reluctant to get the word out there, to speak the life. I was so burdened because I was like, see, the people that don't have life to give, as a matter of fact, people that want to corrupt you with images, videos, they are so bold at it. I don't know if you have noticed, but this is something I have noticed, that they are so bold at it. People that all they have to offer is corruption of your mind, that if you can see it, you will spend time purging yourself. If you can listen to it, you will spend time purging yourself. This set of people have invaded everywhere. They are literally everywhere. Most of the things you want to do, you have these, ads coming up on your phone. Even when you have no business, seeing some things, they come up as ads to you. They come up as, it's just constantly before your eyes. With so much boldness and confidence. They're out there putting these things. And then that have the word of life, we spend time arguing doctrines, debating things. And when I was meditating about this, and I was saying to her about, like, Lord, Maranatha, Jesus, come already, because what is this that we're having? And then someone is still saying, oh, I don't want my kids to be, I mentioned that in a previous video, how that some people will say, I don't want my kids to be indoctrinated. I just want them to have a plain mind. They should play mind with this kind of flyers everywhere. Plain mind. In fact, there are some questions that I didn't need to ask growing up, But with this kind of life that we're living, kids will have to be asking some certain questions. Yes. Which is why we should be manning our posts. We should be manning our gates. We should be manning our gates. We should be very bold about what we have. Be ready to defend the reason for your belief when the time comes. It's not just for somebody that has gone to school of discipleship, somebody that has gone to... It is for every son of God that you can defend the reason for your belief. You are bold about it. This is just to send word out there to every son of God that, the Father has given you instruction at one point or another to reach out to somebody, to, maybe record videos, to, there are different ways that you can shine the light. He has called you into fashion, and he has said, I want to make a statement through you, through fashion. He has called you to, write scripts. You can act drama, you can do things. Just think of those skills that you feel like God can breathe on and can, put him out there. It is time for every one of us to go out there. No matter the measure that you have, as long as you have the instruction to step out with all boldness. Because why on earth will somebody who is trying to corrupt people's mind have so much confidence? And then you that have the word of life, the Father is saying do this, and you're asking 1,000,001 questions so that you will not have to do it. Let's think about it. Think about the lives that are attached to that instruction that you are delaying about. And if you're in the process of preparing and you know that God is going to be launching you out soon, this is the more reason to intensify your commitment, intensify your consecration to the assignment. We need to launch out there. Instead of us arguing this and that, hear what Paul had to say when he said he is aware that some people were preaching the gospel out of strife and out of envy. But he said something. He said, Philippians 1 verse 15, he says, some indeed preach Christ even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. Verse 16, it says, the one preaching Christ of contention, not sincerely, supposedly trying to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. 18, it says, what then, notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. Either ways, preach Christ. I understand that you feel like, oh, there's some churches that you look at and you feel like, oh, they are not so worded. Everyone should preach Christ as long as the name of Christ is everywhere. I don't think God minds. One of those days too, God said to me, he said, do you know that I am the God of the 30, the God of the 60, and the God of the 100? Remember that parable where Jesus said that when he was talking about the sower that was sowing the seed, and then some fell on the pathway on a rock, and the one that fell on the good soil, he said some gave forth 30-fold, some gave forth 60-fold, and some gave forth 100-fold. Now he said, I am the same God of those who gave 30. I'm the same God of those who are giving 60 and those who are giving 100. He knows how he is relating with everybody. So it is not only our place because you are in the 60 looking at those in the 30, and then all you want to do is, correct their doctrine, try to cause an argument, a debate about this, a debate about that, when we are supposed to be focused on the fact that if they are not against us, they are for us. You remember that person that the apostles, when Jesus sent them out to go heal the sick, they came back and they said to Jesus, by the way, we saw this guy that was healing the sick and he was doing it in your name. They wanted to apprehend him. They wanted Jesus to say, go and get him for me. Why does he have to do that? Does he follow me? Why would he do that? That was what they were expecting. They felt jealous because they felt like we are the ones following Jesus. So how does he have the audacity to do that? That is another depth of understanding anyway. If we take a minute to think about that guy, because it's like he's not even close with Jesus, and he knew that much to go out there and step out in so much faith to start to heal the sick and to start to tell people about the goodness of God before Jesus even gave it as a commission to everybody. Okay, we're not here to talk about the guy, but that could be a source of inspiration for you to take and just, meditate deeply into it and see how that sometimes we miss out on something, feeling like we are the chosen, feeling like, oh, I'm the one that was called, to talk about this. I'm the one that was called to talk about this. And then when you see people that seem not to be in the fold that you think you are, talking about these things, you want to debate them, you want to apprehend them. What was the response of Jesus to them when they said that? Jesus said, leave him alone. If he is not against us, then he is for us. So if he is preaching in my name, good for everybody, because he is sowing the seed that the kingdom needs. So that is to tell us that even those people that you feel like they don't have that much revelation knowledge as you feel like you have, leave them, let them preach the gospel in the level that they can. See that scripture that we read, Paul said either you do it in strife, in envy, as long as Christ is preached, it's fine. It's not because we're trying to encourage, we're trying to encourage contention in the body or strife or anything. It's just that our focus should be on, is Christ being preached? Is Christ being preached? Every other thing that needs to be done, leave Jesus Christ to do the weeding among the wheat. Leave him to do the weeding. Leave him to do the cleanup. Yours is to do what he has asked you to do. Because he said, it is still same me that is present in this atmosphere. It is just the level of understanding of everybody that determines how much they can access in that atmosphere. So if you know better, you will get more. The limit of what they are able to know, this is the only way we can pray. This is the only time we can pray in tongues. All of those kind of limitations would be the only reason they will not be able to access God the way another person will be able to access God. But it is still the same God. The only thing is the limit of the knowledge. So if you get into that kind of atmosphere, you can still tap into God like you are in the fold of the 100, because it is still the same God that is in that gathering, that is in every other gathering. Now, why am I saying all of this? Is so that the body of Christ, we will stay focused. We will stay focused and stop trying to correct this and that as much as it is necessary at some point if we're getting into heresy. If heresy is spotted at any point, and heresy means Christ is not being preached, it means that you're preaching something else that is outside of God, right? So in that case, of course, as brothers, we can help ourselves to retrace our steps to the right path. But if you feel like, they're not singing the spiritual song that you expect them to sing because they are singing hymns, you think because you're singing Hillsong, you are sort of better than them, or you feel, they need to upgrade, all those kind of things. Christ has not sent us all of those. Christ has not sent us all of those, and if we will have to do it, if it is necessary to even do that, it should be done in love and not some kind of online debate and some kind of strife here and there. The bottom line is, preach Christ wherever you are, in whatever capacity that you have. Preach Christ, and let us support ourselves in the body. When you see someone that is trying to preach Christ and the person is sound, that means there's no heresy in what they are preaching, encourage them, pray for them, help them with anything you can help them with to push the word that God has given them to limelight. In the end, that the glory of God will fill the whole earth as water covers the sea. It starts with you and me. Catch you again on another episode of Spiritual Gist. Stay blessed.